Welcome to today's Wednesday webinar, where we will share why you should focus on course design when you're developing your courses. With me today are Ryan Randall, Mark Cooper, and Sasha Johnson. And to start off, Ryan is going to present what constitutes quality course design.
Great, thanks, Paul. So what is quality course design? One essential element is an environment conducive to learning, communication, and collaborating. Next, it's important to choose learning materials that will help achieve the learning objectives and that will facilitate the teaching and learning process. The best instructional materials are aligned with other elements of the course, including the learning objectives, assessments, and activities. Ideally, they'll be tailored to the content being covered and to the learners who are participating in the course. A variety of interactions is an important part of the learning process, and these can range from being very structured to highly flexible. The important thing is that they occur on a regular basis. The three types of learning interactions are student to instructor and student to content. Having a good balance between the three types will allow students to engage in their learning, make connections, and share their understanding with each other. Also helps students know what is expected of them, what to expect from the course, and where to locate what they need when they need it. A clear structure also reduces anxiety and helps students better manage their time. Choosing the right technologies for your course can be quite a task, but it's still worth taking the time to pick wisely. So that's why appropriate and effective use of technology is one of the important facets of a quality course design. Technology should be purposeful, adaptable to fit the student, and enhance the learning experience to make it authentic and personalized. And finally, a quality course provides students with the opportunity to think at a higher level. Being deliberate about our course design creates learning experiences that helps students visualize, create new mental schemas, connect concepts, solve problems, and make inferences, just to name a few of the mental processes that you can design for. Also, why would we want to focus on this? In brief, it allows us to have better learning and outcomes. It's easy to have mental overload, extraneous cognitive work. We can clarify and minimize extraneous cognitive load if instead we streamline things. What we can do is design for learning, not for navigation. Make sure that we focus on the things that we want the students to spend their time doing, instead of figuring out from all those signs on that first image, what's the important thing. This connects to the Quality Matters rubric, specific review standards 1.1, 1.2, and 8.1. We also can design scaffolds. So by having adequate and focused materials, we can help students build towards the learning outcomes. By providing practice with formative feedback, they can also make sure to build their skills and know where they have areas for improvement. And they can demonstrate their achievement through a summative assessment, making sure that we build these different levels and make sure that we have a rung at each place. Make sure that we have a durable and adequate scaffolding for our students' learning. It also clarifies for the students. So students will know what and how they will be learning in the course. They will know how their learning will be evaluated. And these facets connect to the Quality Matters rubric, specific review standards 2.3 and 2.4. So up next, Mark will let us know more about quality course design.
Thank you, Ryan. Okay, to discuss designing quality online courses, let's first take a look at an example of an instructor teaching a new online course. And you can make the determination, does this sound familiar? I have this great textbook for my course. Look, it just happens to have 16 chapters. We'll cover a chapter a week, call it good. and have a quiz each week on what's covered in that chapter. My course is ready to go. So what is the problem here? The problem is that the textbook publishers are not the experts in designing your online course. You are the expert in designing your online course. You know your students better than publishers ever could. When you start with the content, you are looking at the things of a course, not the desired result. The content determines the learning goal in this situation. So now we're going to look at how to design quality courses with a focus on the design. And we tend to focus on the material that we have to cover by marching through the textbook or focusing on video lectures. The goal in designing a quality course is to check for, is for understanding and knowledge transfer. And so a best practice approach is to design backwards. Let the goal determine the content. Start with the end in mind and design backwards. And how you work through this process is to first identify the desired result. So envision the knowledge or skill that a competent student will have after they successfully complete your course. And we determine this by having clear and measurable learning objectives. Once we have that, then we determine the acceptable evidence. How will students prove to you, the instructor, that they know the material or that they can do the tasks that you're asking them to do? Assess for understanding. Just because a student knows things doesn't mean that they understand it. So test not only the facts and the basic skills, but also assess the student's abilities to show understanding through knowledge transfer. The more honest your learning objectives are, the more authentic your assessments will be. And then finally, in our backwards design, we want to plan learning experiences and instructions. And so this is the learning activities, the instructional materials, and course resources that will best support the learning activities, prepare your students and support the students to help them achieve the assessment. It gives them practice so that they can successfully complete your summative assessment. Your instructional resources and materials wrap around and support all this to help students to do the learning activities. And then you want to align whatever technology you use in your course with the learning experiences and instructions to make sure that technology is doing what you intend it to do.
You can learn more about course design as well as aligning course materials and assessments through many of the professional development opportunities that are available to you through ISU's Quality Plus program. This is ISU's implementation of the Quality Matters rubric. With this program, we aim to increase faculty knowledge, skills, and abilities in online teaching, as well as increase faculty knowledge, skills, and abilities in developing online courses with the ultimate goal of helping faculty create quality ISU online courses. So you can learn more about the Quality Plus program and sign up at isu.edu/qualityplus, which I'll also post in the chat. And next, Paul will tell us about other resources that are available for you to learn more.
Thank you, Sasha. If you'd like to learn more, we have a variety of resources available. Simply scan the QR code on the screen to access the links that you see here. Our TigerTracks knowledge base is a library of how-tos at your fingertips. We also have a library of short walkthrough videos on various topics in our ITRC video library that you can find on our YouTube channel. And you're always welcome to meet with us at the ITRC. You can email us at itrc@isu.edu. You can give us a call at 208-282-5880. And our front lab is also open if you'd like to drop in. We're in room B17 in the basement of the O'Bowler Library. Watch for more ITRC web announcements in ISU Today and on the ISU events calendar. Thank you for joining us today and have a good day.